And we're live.
We're back.
We're back.
After a week's hiatus.
That wasn't me.
It was my fault.
It was your fault.
It was very much my fault, Dan.
Why? Where did you go? What's her name?
I went.
Is she better than me? Well, actually, she is, yeah.
I went to the.
I'm better. Like, oh, yeah.
You may struggle to believe this, Dan, but I left this last week to go to the cinema.
You went to the cinema?
Me.
That's unlike you, that man.
This guy
Honestly.
went to the cinema.
To watch a movie?
You got it in one. Do you know what else? To eat popcorn as well.
Well, you see, I say it like that because back in our radio days, you did an advert. You said on the air, on the live radio for everyone to hear, I went to the cinema the other day to watch a movie. And me and Producer Man Steve, we
top that.
No, we take the piss out of you constantly. I went to the cinema to watch a movie. What else did you go there for? To buy a bathroom?
Before I came here, I went on a treadmill to run.
Yeah.
See?
Funny that,
Go
isn't
figure,
it?
right?
I know.
It's funny how that works.
Honest to God, man. you come out with the stupidest. Anyway.
But because we missed a week last week, Dan, that means...
We?
Yeah, well, you didn't do one on your own, did you?
You got me there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Why do you keep finding all these loopholes with stuff I say? Stop doing that.
I don't know. Logic? I don't know. But I think the key thing here was for us to approach this week with two movies. Two movies. But
it's not a Bug's Life.
No, not a Bug's Life.
Oh.
But yeah, we'll be talking about two films to coincide with Just Tommy July. Just to.
Is it over yet?
There's one more, I believe, after this.
Yeah, there
think.
is.
Yeah.
And then we go into the big one.
But these films for this month have predominantly been my focus purely just to scratch more films off that list that we have. That poster that we have downstairs.
Yes, the poster, of course, will reveal on here at some point. But one thing I'm going to just quickly go through is this piece of paper here.
We have
so lovingly cut. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to talk. I'm just going to quickly reveal.
You're going to reveal each month, and I'm going to tell you what they mean.
Yes, but what I'm going to do, I'm only going to read out the first 6.
Okay.
And then after your reviews, we'll read out the other 6. Okay?
Cool.
So, we're going to start off with Junior January.
I thought I'd kick off next year in style, Dan. And by style, I mean a theme that you can really lab yourself up in. And it's for films that are made for 10-year-olds and younger.
See, here's the thing. You have completely failed because you know what the conversation with me and your girlfriend was last time I saw her. And you also know that there is very heavy rumours of a Bluey movie being produced. So you have walked right into that one.
The question is, will it be out before January?
I so hope so. Because I'm getting you on that. I am going to trap you in your own trap.
But,
that you set.
it'll be good.
Hey, I didn't set this trap.
No, but it will be nice for you, to talk to you maybe about more kind of movies that you've seen. So, films that were meant for kids, or maybe we watched when we were kids, and, I think...
I've got some big ideas. I'm going to love that month.
It stops January from being doom and gloom for you.
It does, absolutely. It just makes it worse for you, though.
It does. But then we get to Feeling February.
Yes.
Which is when it's about emotional films. Films that might, cause you to tear up a little bit, Like, they're the ones that
like
really...
Like Marley and Me.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Or Toy Story 3.
Oh, no, don't go there.
Like, they're the ones that really pull on the heartstrings.
Literally, when the credits started rolling, my cousin got up because I went with my cousin to watch that in the cinema. He's like, come on, let's go. No, we can't go right now. Why not? Because I'm crying. I don't want anyone to see it. So let all the kids go first, and then I'll go out there with my teary ass.
And then,
oh, God.
And then for March, we've got Musical March, because I often have movie days with my brother Ben and my sister-in-law.
Yes, you do.
Josie and of course my girlfriend Ellie. All 3 of them are musical fans. So
I thought Ellie was action.
No. Well, Ellie likes a bit of everything movie wise, but I think musicals are her forte.
Okay, interesting.
But I often have a movie day with them 3, and they introduce me to a musical each time.
Have you sat through the Sound of Music yet?
I have.
I'm afraid I found that very boring myself.
Literally, the last... it's a 3-hour movie, and you have to go through 2.5 hours of singing to get to a Nazi chase at the end.
I kind of felt like that. I'm not saying it right. Okay, Adventure April was the next
Let's
one.
not go there.
Let's not go there. The next one, Adventure April.
We've got Adventure April, so this could be anything from swashbuckling movies to quest movies, journey movies. Not necessarily Lord of the Rings.
National Treasure.
Yeah, it could be stuff like National Treasure or The Mummy or Stardust. Even we may have, but I think we've spoken about Stardust.
I think
already.
we have that. Yeah, because they basically took the piss out of our town.
Yeah, but I'll find
it's
some.
It's a good
other
movie
things.
They're very lucky that was a but movie.
Heck, some of
we could have complained about that.
Even Shrek can fall into that category if we haven't covered them all by then. But I'm pretty sure we will have done. But then that leads us into my birthday month, which I've gone for a downer next year. I've gone for Mistakable May. So these are films that were made that were a complete mistake. They should never have been made. Their existence is futile.
Like The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Necessarily, I could think of other films before that, but each
but I
their
can't.
Own. But no, yeah. So it's a downer month, and I thought I'd take the bullet on that one.
Right. Well, the last one we're revealing now is Jackpot June.
Ka-ching! These are the movies that made the big bucks. These are the ones that made huge numbers at the box office. These are the ones that maybe even hit 1 billion, and not necessarily Avengers movies this time. I'll be avoiding that and trying to stir it up a bit. But these are the films that have made a big bunch at the box office when they were released, or even re-released in certain cases.
Well, your 2026 July, August, September, October, November, and December are on this piece of paper, and we're not going to tell you anything until Tommy reads out the reviews for The Departed.
Let's commence with the first review.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about The Departed from 2006.
Wow.
So it's a long while ago.
And I met someone born in 2006 today. That's not even funny.
That makes us feel old, right? 11 years. We were 11 years old.
We were ancient.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't then. We are now.
We are now. My exploration into Martin Scorsese movies continues. Figured I'd check this one out after hearing some praising about it from some friends of mine. This was an enjoyable film with the majority of the cast being good at what they do best. Class acts like Jack Nicholson and Leonardo DiCaprio stand tall in their energetic performances, and Matt Damon follows not too far behind. The twists and turns throughout were enjoyable. Some I could see coming and others I totally did not. The finale of the film really is an anything could happen scenario, really. Not particularly a fan of Mark Wahlberg, but I can tolerate him better when he's trying not to be funny, as I think he just can't pull off comedy. Ted and Daddy's Home, for example, they just don't work with him.
Okay.
So his presence in this film was an alright one for me. There are some interesting themes on identity explored in the film that Scorsese handled well. Questions like where people's loyalties ultimately lay, what decisions can corrupt the soul, what is the real definition of a good person or a bad person, etc. It's all explored in this film that uses its stretched out, if too long, runtime for the benefit of those themes. I'll tell you the runtime for it after this. Fun side parts for Alec Baldwin, Martin Sheen and Ray Winston were entertaining too, and the action scenes / fight scenes were inventively violent, which Scorsese is kind of the master of considering his track record. He makes the violence affect the audience more because he makes it feel so real. So to close on this first one, Dan, this was maybe my least favourite Scorsese movie, as I have seen out of all of the 5 Scorsese movies I've seen. I just this one didn't do it for me. It affected me the least out of the 5 Scorsese films that I've seen. The main leads gave entertaining performances. The law conspiracy element was handled well by its A-list director, and I look forward to furthering my education into cinema through watching more of Scorsese's films. But for The Departed, Dan, I'm only giving it 3 out of 5. It's a bulk standard, but the film is 151 minutes long, which is a long time for a crime drama.
It is.
How many times can someone...
If a crime drama is going to go out that long, it needs to be a TV series.
Yeah, I mean, at least like with something like Lord of the Rings, you can be like, look at that, that looks cool, look at that CGI effect, wow, just zips you in a bit more. But there's it didn't do it for me. I'm giving it a 3 based purely on how it was made.
Okay.
But
it needed to do more to wow you.
But yes, but buckle up because we are on path to a much better film to talk about next.
And I just wanted to interject here. in the middle of that review, my neighbour texts me to say, "Is your toilet running constantly? Because mine is." I'm like, I don't know what he knows, but that's not how it works.
I thought it was the start of a joke. I thought he was going.
No, he's actually messaging me to say that his toilet won't stop.
I thought he was going to go. Is your toilet running? Well, you better go get it. You know, like the Grinch. You know.
I sure hope he's not going to ask me to use it, because that's going to be a long night for me.
Oh yeah. Well, out of the two films we're talking about, the one that we
just thought I'd share that with the world.
The one that we just talked about is more flushed than this one. So
you're not reviewing Flushed Away, are
no,
you?
I am
that
not.
was awful.
Oh, I didn't like that.
No, I didn't know. It was such a big hype. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is good. And I'm watching it. I'm like, this is terrible.
Made by the people who made Wallace and Gromit.
Keep
But
me up, darling.
yeah, sorry, I'm a bit tired. It's made by the same people. It's made by Aardman, but it's CGI, isn't it? It's not claymation.
No,
you can tell.
I'm disappointed in them. They know how to make a good film.
Yeah.
Although Christmas Day 2024, they delivered.
We know.
They delivered.
We know. All too well.
Anyway, carry on.
We digress.
Carry on.
So for now, we are going to be talking about we're jumping back 12 years before The Departed came out. We're going all the way back to 1994 now.
Wow.
Because we're talking about a film that won Best Picture that year.
Ooh.
That film is Forrest Gump.
Jenny.
A film that I have heard so much about, but never got round to watching. I reviewed this
You not watched it?
No. I reviewed this film on the 21st of June 2020. I watched it during lockdown.
Wow.
So,
dude, where have you been? Even off in it?
No, but that was perfect because lockdown gave me the opportunity to catch up on so many films that I hadn't seen before.
Fair enough.
And Forrest Gump was one of them. A film that I have heard so much about but never got round to watching. This film was well worth the wait and lived up to the hype it has generated for me over the years. Tom Hanks rightly deserved his Academy Award win for Best Actor in this film, as his portrayal of the titular character was captivating from beginning to end.
You really felt for him as well, didn't you?
You do.
Like, oh.
See, the trick to get right in his performance was that it would have been very easy to go overboard stupid and make Gump a complete bumbling idiot, but Hanks made a smart move to pull back and portray Gump as a man who may not be the smartest, but is certainly not stupid.
Yeah.
The film teaches you that it's not about how big your brain is as much as your heart, as that is the captivating characteristic here for this character, isn't it? You know, you feel for Forrest Gump because of it, he's got a good heart, hasn't he? If you remember, yeah, when you watched it, yeah. Director Robert Zemeckis, who you may know, he directed a little trilogy actually called the Back to the Future films.
Hmm.
Did you know he directed Forrest Gump?
Might have heard of it. No, I didn't actually.
No.
No.
So
I'm just pretending I didn't hear the I did, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm just pretending. I'm
But
trying to add a dramatic effect.
It adds well to his track record when you find out that the same guy that did Back to the Future did Forrest Gump, though, right?
Yeah.
Robert Zemeckis once again triumphs with a delightful picture full of engrossing characters, very well done special effects, and a story that spans across the second half of America's 20th century history. For 1994, the effects of integrating Forrest into archive footage containing various USA presidents is jaw-dropping, and it looks so damn real upon execution. Tom Hanks, Robin Wright, Gary Sinise, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Sinise?
Gary Sinise sounds about right,
Sinise?
yeah. Sinise.
It might be Gary Sinise. Might be.
I think Sinise is right. I remember that name.
He also played George in Of Mice and Men, if you remember watching that in school.
Oh, yes, I do.
And, of course, Sally Field. They all bring their A-game to this picture. You never feel like a performance is under or overacted. You know? I'm yawning, man. I don't know.
Your performance is 5-star. Well, you don't bang on to me about a long day. My day's not over yet.
Yeah, I know.
It looks like I'm going to be a plumber in the next 15 minutes.
Yeah, calm down, Mario. Wahoo! The character of Jenny is a controversial one, considering how badly she treats Forrest throughout the film and rebuffs his various acts of kindness.
Oh, he's so...
He's lapdoggy for her, isn't he?
Yeah, he loves that. And
he simps for her.
Oh, she's just like that with...
But considering her abusive childhood that clearly messed her up, she goes into a downward spiral which opposes Forrest's upward spiral. Forrest grew up with love from his mother. Jenny grew up being abused by her father. Forrest gained respect from others as he grew older. Jenny lost respect for herself as she grew older. So there's a weird mirror dichotomy between the two of them, you know. The mirror of those two characters is what the story is really about, and how they better each other's lives in various ways. Gary Sinise, or Sinesse, might be pronounced
We don't know.
as Lieutenant Dan, is captivating too, as he reflects a broken man with a death wish who considers death a more honourable option than to return from war as a surviving cripple.
Wow.
Through Forrest, Dan finds meaning in his life once again, and at the end of the film, you are beyond happy to see him turn his life around. And even, with help from prosthetic legs, begin to walk again. This film won Best Picture for the Academy year of 1994, which, considering it was up against big hits like The Shawshank Redemption and Pulp Fiction, is a huge compliment to the film in retrospect. I personally would have nominated Shawshank over this film myself.
Yeah, I know you would have, yeah.
But,
And Steve.
And Steve would have.
Yeah.
But besides a few far-fetched war sequences that Forrest survives...
Did you almost say full far-fetched farts?
Yeah, for a few far-fetched war sequences.
Oh, that's a tongue twister.
Very much so.
Say it again.
A few far-fetched...
You don't have to, man.
few far-fetched war sequences
Yay!
that Forrest survives. I can't really fault it other than that. There's just a couple of far-fetched bits, but other than that, it's all good. So to close, director Robert Zemeckis, composer Alan Silvestri, and actor Tom Hanks are the three ingredients to always deliver a live-action film worth watching. I look forward to one day giving this film a rewatch, as it has very impactful themes, a unique story on life, which is like a box of chocolates.
Yes.
And proof that brains aren't what gets you through life, as well as having a caring heart and a bit of bravery to boot, you know?
I don't need a film for that. I've got you. Burn.
Ooh.
Burn.
Yeah, you have the brains, I have the heart.
See, with the camera rolling, look at how nice he is to me. If these cameras weren't on, he'd have thumped me by now.
But no, yeah, you keep your brains. I got my heart, man. I'm a good person, and you're going to hell, and I'm going to heaven.
And I'm going to die early, and you're not, so, you know.
Yeah, well, with your McDonald's diet, but we won't even get into that.
Let's not get it. I believe it's called a McDiet.
A McDiet,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Supersize
They've
me.
got a name for it now. Yes, yes.
But on this note, Dan, Forrest
Screw you.
Gump, it gets a 4.5 stars
Nice.
out of 5. It's
It was the far-fetched stuff that got you that
yeah,
last
yeah.
half
It's a
star,
near
yeah.
perfect film. Other than that, it's paced perfectly.
But
really.
hey, Tom Hanks knew this and went on the year after to make a 5-star, so
Yeah, it's fine.
we'll let him off.
He's been in quite
It's
a few
good.
5-star movies, to be fair.
I'll read you a bedtime story. in a
I'm
minute,
trying to
mate.
avoid yawning.
You're
But
making me go. Right,
but
anyway.
no, before that, we need to go through the rest, don't we?
We do.
We have the other 6 months of next year to talk
Well, a
about.
very quick recap. Junior January, Feeling February, Musical March, Adventure April, Mistakable May, and Jackpot June. So, Tommy, tell us about Just Funny July.
These are the funnies. These are the comedies. These are the ones that tickle our belly and make us laugh.
Oh.
These are the, just all-round funny movies, you know, films that just put a smile on your face. Enough said on that one.
I do love that. So, the All 2000s August.
Now, we're going to be talking
I
about
like that.
films from that range from 2000 all the way to 2009. And you could have guessed it. There's a lot of movies that we grew up with that came out during that period.
No.
So,
And-
I've been very considerate for yourself.
And one of your favourites from 2005 is in there too. Cars. No, 2006.
No, it's 2006.
I do apologise.
But we've already spoken about it, so we can't talk about that again.
Oh, you love that film.
No.
Sequel September 2.
So this is the sequel to Sequel September, Dan, that we did last year.
I tell ya,
It was
I
great.
I
wasn't it?
regret it not
Yeah,
being here
you
this year.
really regretted not doing one this year, didn't
Yeah, but I'm glad you found a loophole of repeating because a sequel.
It's a
obviously,
sequel.
A sequel of the sequel.
you? Yeah.
And in your words, because it's a sequel, because you don't know how to speak English.
And these are
And
two.
that is a great thing.
So these are going to be the two movies. These are the ones
Yes.
that that are sequels. They might even be worse sequels. They might be better sequels. Either way, we're talking about two movies,
But my
Dan.
only criticism
What's that?
is there won't be a Bug's Life 2.
There won't be a Bug's Life 2.
No, there won't be a Bug's Life 2.
But there will be many other 2s that
But
we'll
there
talk
will be a
about.
2 movie.
There will be many a 2 movie.
So that one is probably the one I'm the most excited about.
Yes, yeah.
And then, of course, the official October scares. How do we keep finding words that begin
We
with
are
O
doing
that
very
work for
well.
us? We're doing very well
yeah,
at that.
Yeah, but
Very well at that. Nearly a decade of doing that. You know that, right?
It's gonna
We've
be-
done it
yeah.
for a while. So official October scares. I mean, this one's obvious, right?
yeah, monster movies, scary movies, stuff that falls into the Halloween category. Very basic, but it's tradition.
Well, it got me to watch Hocus Pocus, which I really regret not seeing earlier.
Hocus
So-
Pocus 1 is great.
It was awesome. I mean, okay, number 2,
I hate
it
two.
wasn't. Well, I didn't hate it. It just wasn't as good. And of course, Nerdy November.
Yay! I thought we'd
Is that your
fit
nerd
in
impression?
Yeah, I didn't even have my glasses on, so I can't go,
Hey.
yay! But yeah, like we'll. I'm pretty sure we'll cover that. You know, these
so
are
stereotypical.
yeah, these are like the franchisey movies, the ones that have
Anton Powers.
they have nerd followings to them. You know, like any film really that. To be honest, it's quite non-specific, that one. So it's very much.
Shame
an
you've already
open-
done Lord of the Rings. That would have covered the month, right?
Star Wars. There's
Oh, yes.
There's Star Trek. There's
Yes.
it's countless superhero movies. And I'm sure we can find something from your end, like SpongeBob.
So far, it doesn't seem to be fit. Oh no, SpongeBob's going to be junior, mate.
Yes,
Tell
true.
you.
We'll get there first.
Well, of course, this has been my favourite, and it's the only month of the year where we actually cut the review short because we take a break. Dan's December Delights.
Okay.
I'm picking them, aren't I?
Yeah, you're picking them. So I get a month off in December next year. You get to talk to me about Christmas movies, the Christmas movies that mean a lot to you. And considering you like the Santa Claus movies a lot more than me, I'm expecting some reviews for those.
Oh, yes, you're getting them. Don't you worry about
Yeah.
that. I cannot wait for this. But do not forget, of course, let's just finish the rest of this year. So we're in just Tommy July, which thankfully is nearly over. Animated August is awaiting for us.
Yep.
Series September.
I'm a bit iffy about that one because like I can't physically write a review for series.
You're free anyway. Oh, so scary October. Negative November. I love it when you go negative.
When I hate on movies.
You're not a negative kind of person.
No.
Unless you're talking about your neighbour. And Disney Christmas December, which, of course, the first time we've actually dedicated a month to Disney.
Yeah. Very true.
So you threw out my Nickelodeon November idea, but you've let me slip in the Disney Christmas
Dan,
one.
next Christmas, go nuts. The Drake and Josh Christmas special, go for it.
That's a good one, actually. Yeah, okay.
I didn't even know there was one, to be honest.
No, there is.
Yeah, I imagine
It's called
there
Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh.
Of course.
How do you not know this?
Well, no, I mean, I may have called it when I was
What
a kid.
about Christmas Rugrats? That was an episode, though, to be fair. It's a
No,
special
yeah, I
episode.
d- I
Anyway,
didn't.
don't worry. I'll educate you on Nickelodeon. Right, you need to follow him online because he lives for the followings, and you can find him down on Letterboxd and me as well. Tommy, tell him how to find us.
You can find us under Larkins95 or Dan Moore Radio. You guys know the gist at this point. Feel free to go onto Letterboxd, follow us, harass us, do what you like, but we'd welcome your feedback.
And if they block you because you've harassed us, well, you can do it here on YouTube because they don't care what abuse they send to us. And all you need to do is the subscribe button, the like button, comment, whatever you want to do. You know the rules.
Yeah.
Just let us know what you're thinking. Well, other than that, Tommy, thank you so much for another week and another 2 reviews. Just Tommy July concludes in a week from today, so make sure you're here.
Yep.
And until then, Tommy, thank you as always. And
Same
we'll
bat
see you
time,
later.
same bat channel. See you guys there. Take care. Bye-bye.